intent of the legislature that if analysis shows a positive economic value to the state, all parties would work towards the front end engineering and design for phase one of a pipeline project. Front end engineering and design is oftenly referred to as the FEED. This hearing is the first presentation of this independent analysis to the legislature. Wood Mackenzie, who is here with us today, and we thank them for their travel to be with us, is the leading global data and analytics solutions provider for renewables, energy, and natural resources. Originally founded in Edinburgh, Scotland, it has over 30 offices worldwide. Their ability to provide independent, thorough, and reliable analysis has led to their success. It is important to recognize the importance the legislature placed on the independent aspect of this analysis. Wood Mackenzie will explain to the committee today the information and data they received from the AGDC and independently verified before being used in their analysis. I would now like to welcome Mr. Costa Swift, who is from Australia. He's vice president in the upstream and carbon management consulting team of Wood Mackenzie, and Akari Takiguchi from Mexico, managing consultant for Wood Mackenzie. So, gentlemen, please introduce yourselves, state your names and affiliations for the record, and please begin your presentation.
Thank you for your kind words. My name is Costa Swift. I'm a vice president at Wood Mackenzie in the upstream carbon management team based in Houston.
Hello, good morning. My name is Akira Takiguchi for the record, and I'm a managing consultant for the gas and LNG team.
You may need to move the mics closer, guys, so we can get them good and loud.
Is this better?
I think so. Yeah, you both talk kind of softly, so don't be afraid to boom it out.
No worries. Should I begin?
Yeah, you're good. Thank you.
Perfect. Please keep me on track for timing. I know that that's important. And thank you for the kind words about Wood Mackenzie and who we are. Wood Mackenzie's worked extensively looking at the Alaska oil and gas industry for as long as we have been a practice, and specifically really focused on the issue since 2016, where we actually performed an economic analysis of the full Alaska LNG project. At the time, my colleague who also worked on this project with us today, David Barrowman, actually came and presented the results of that study. Based on that work, some reworking and some recommendations were made, and those recommendations were we reanalyzed with Alaska Gas Development Corporation, or for Alaska Gas Corporation, in 2020-21. Since that last study, the AGDC has come up with a different phased approach, and that's what we're here to review with our independent economic analysis of just that pipeline, or what is called phase one. We value our independence. The work that we have here is our opinion, and it's our independent analysis of it. Any of the information or data that was provided to us, we have verified and are comfortable with those assumptions moving forward. When we looked at this work, we structured the report through 5 sections: understanding the South Central and Interior Elastic market, what a delivered pipe cost of pipe gas would be, and under that we did scenario analysis based on that. We analysed the cost of LNG imports as the potential other option, and then we did economic impact of the Alaska LNG of phase one and what that would mean to the state of Alaska, and finally our takeaways. So what I'm showing on slide 4 is 2 charts. I think the top chart, I think everyone's aware of the view. That is our Wood Mackenzie's Cook Inlet gas production chart. As we've heard earlier in today's session, there is that rapid decline of that production. What we're also showing in that bottom chart there is Wood Mackenzie's and the actual view of the exploration activity that's occurred in the Cook Inlet since 2009. Each bar represents the number of exploration wells drilled. The red line represents a cumulative volume discovered. So what you see, there's been 34 exploration wells drilled in the last 15 years at approximately a 9% success rate, with 270 BCF of gas discovered. Now, these discoveries have not been enough to help arrest the decline that we've seen in Cook Inlet gas production. From a demand perspective, and this is a similar chart that was shown earlier today, on slide 5, we have Wood Mackenzie's gas demand that we're seeing in the state of Alaska. As you can see, as that secure, consistent, affordable supply of gas has dwindled, that has led to a demand response with a consistent drop in that gas demand over time, with the fertilizer plant closing, the Kenai LNG plant closing. So you see this continuing in our forecast moving forward.
I'm sorry, can you tell me what just CAGR stands for?
Okay, compound growth interest rate. So it's a 5% annual decline in gas over time.
Okay, glad I asked.
Not a problem. So on slide 6, we're combining those two charts on the left-hand side. So the blue is again the gas supply, with the grey line being the gas demand that we have. We've also added the Cook Inlet gas price, and as you've seen and know, that has been rising recently at a 4% CAGR, or compound annual growth rate, over time. And as you see, the difference as it's starting to show in the next few years and moving beyond, you can see a demand gap opening up of equivalent of 2.3 TCF of gas up until 2070. That 2.3 TCF of gas is more than 8 times the amount of volumes that have been discovered in the last 15 years. So for this reason, additional production in the long term from Cook Inlet, we have not considered for this analysis. What we have considered is 2 viable alternatives to Cook Inlet production in the longer term. The first is the natural gas supply via the pipeline, which is a nearly 800 or 765 mile, 42-inch pipeline coming down from the northern fields connecting to the southern and central Alaska region. And the second we looked at for LNG imports. The first, the gas pipeline, we've assumed a capex of the initial phase 1 pipeline of $10.8 billion. Now this will raise to 14.9 if a full Alaska LNG occurs. First gas we've assumed at 2031, and there's the ability in this pipeline at that 42-inch size to cover any incremental size of gas throughput for the Alaska LNG. For the LNG imports, we assume a first gas of 3 to 4 years post FID. So the project would need to have reach a final investment decision, and then 3 to 4 years after that. We've assumed a capacity for the floating storage and regas facility of about approximately 400 to 450 MMCF a day, with a utilisation rate of 40 to 45%. Slide 8 shows our Wood Mackenzie base case in the assumed if a pipeline